guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. So to get started, I'm just prepping my eyebrows and I'm using the soap method to lay down my eyebrows so that there's no hairs that are sticking up. Then to do my eyebrows, I'm just using a dark brown eyebrow pencil and I'm going to be outlining my natural brow. So when it comes to doing your makeup or doing your brows, you want to make sure that you follow the actual natural shape of your actual brow. So if you have a desired shape that you want to bring out in your makeup look, make sure that you've prepared your brows first. So whatever it is that you do to prep your eyebrows, if you shave, if you pluck your eyebrows, always do that first because it makes it easier for you to seamlessly prepare your eyebrows. Then after outlining, I'm going to be filling in the brow, right? And I'm just taking the eyebrow pencil and filling out my entire brow. When it comes to the beginning of my eyebrows, I just use little strokes, and I also take a spoolie and I just kind of fade it out because I want to create like a gradient. You don't want the eyebrows to look blocky because when they look blocky, then they don't look natural. Then I like to take the spoolie also and just run it through the rest of the brow because I'm just trying to make my eyebrows look fuller. I like a natural looking brow. Then in terms of getting makeup stuff, you don't have to go for the most expensive thing. Like literally you could be walking across the street in Joburg, just get you a brow pencil. It doesn't have to be the most expensive product, especially if you're still starting out. Next, I'm going to be defining the eyebrow and I'm just going to be using LA Girl Pro Concealer. And when you're a beginner, please do go slow with this because you don't want to run over, the outline. So I'm just going slowly and I'm just going over that area that I had outlined previously with the brow pencil. So take your time with it. Then whatever product I have left, I just like to, spread it all over the rest of my eyelid. Now I'm going to be using a brush to blend everything out, and I prefer using a brush because I feel like when I use a beauty blender, I don't have much control over it because it's just so big. So I like to use a brush instead. Also because I've already, prepared the eyebrow, and if I use a beauty blender, sometimes, it's messy and then I have to fix the brow again and draw it over again or add more concealer just to redefine the line or whatever. So I prefer using a brush for that reason. Now I'm going to get into preparing the rest of my face, and I'm going to be using Maybelline's Baby Skin primer, and I'm just going to be spreading it all over my face just to prepare for when I set the base of my makeup. Then for my foundation, I'm going to be using Maybelline Fit Me, and I like to take the foundation and just have it at the back of my hand. Then I like to use my fingers and just spread it all over my face. I prefer using a beauty blender to apply my foundation. So I'm just going to dampen my beauty blender. I dip it in water and then I just squeeze out the excess water, and I'm just going to spread the foundation or blend it all over my face, making sure that I have an even base. Do take your time, especially if you're still a beginner and doing makeup, because it's those little things that we times tend to overlook. So take your time, especially when it comes to the blending and setting the base of your makeup. Then, like I said, I don't like using concealer at the top of my brow, so I'm just going to take the excess foundation. I'm just going to clean up my eyebrow just to redefine it or clean it up a bit more. Then, because I have hyperpigmentation and some spots, I like to take the foundation and just go over those spots again, where I feel that I'd like to have a bit more coverage. So I'm just going to be taking little dabs, and I'm just going to be dabbing over those areas, and then I'll blend the foundation into my skin again. Now I'm going to be contouring my face, and to contour I'm going to be using Essence. This is their dark loose powder. I don't know why, but I just prefer using the powder, but you can use a darker shade of concealer. So I don't like to work with too much of the product. I just empty it out, or I just sprinkle a little bit into the lid, and then I use a fluffy brush. When you're not sure where to place your contour, especially when it comes to your cheekbones, just feel your cheekbones with your fingers. And where you feel your cheekbones, that's probably where you should be placing your contour. So I'm just going to be fluffing it out. I'm going to be focusing on my cheekbones, and I'm also going to be focusing on my forehead. And then I'll also do along my jaw area. Now we're going to move on to the highlighting. So I'm using Wet n Wild concealer, but you can use Allegro or any other concealer of your preference. So with the under eye, I'm not going to be applying the concealer everywhere under my eyes. I'm just focusing on the inner corner and the outer corner, and you're going to see why. It's going to go a long way. So I'm just going to be applying the concealer at these points. Now I'm going to go ahead and blend out that concealer. And when you are blending out your concealer, you are blending upwards. Don't blend downwards. Always make sure that you are using an upward motion. So I'm just blending it out, trying to make sure that there's no harsh lines or sharp edges or any, area of demarcation where you can see like where the concealer starts or where the contour ends. Nothing like that. I'm going to get into blending out the rest of my face. So now I'm going to be using a brush for this step because I like a bright under eye, and when it comes to the center of my face, I like to make sure that that highlighter is really coming out. So I feel like when I use a blender, it picks up so much of the product, so I prefer using the brush because I feel like it doesn't pick up that much product. So as you can see, I'm dragging down the concealer along the sides of my nose because I'm really like starting to set the foundation of what shape I want my nose to be in. So as you can see, I'm moving, right, left, and I'm just spreading out that concealer. And you can see, as I explained, that it's going a long way. There's no necessity for me to, conceal my entire under eye. I just focus on those points, inside or the inner corner and the outer corner. So I'm just blending it out, and yeah. Whatever concealer that I have excess on the brush, I just like to run it over my eyelid, and I feel like this does a very good job for preparing, the eyelid for the eyeshadow. So if you don't have any primer for eyeshadow, just use your concealer to set the base, so that when you do apply your eyeshadow, the colors pop. Take notes as to how I am blending out my forehead area. So you can see I'm moving from right to left, and I keep going higher and higher. So you have to make sure that you're moving right to left, and then you keep taking it higher and higher and higher, making sure that the contour and the highlighter meets at that point. Then we're going to take the beauty blender and obviously blend everything out to make sure that there's no harsh lines. Now I'm just taking my beauty blender and I'm using the side that I was using for my foundation, because now I'm trying to neutralize all these different colors. There's the contour, there's the highlighter. So I make sure that I use the side with the foundation so that everything merges and comes together nicely. So now I'm going to be contouring my nose. I'm using the same loose powder that I was using to contour the rest of my face. And for this step, I'm using my eyeshadow brush. So yeah, very beginner friendly. So you can't... I'm just going to be using my brush and I'm just focusing on, bringing out that shape, just trying to make that nose look snatched, baby. So that's all I'm doing for the step. So now I'm going to be setting my under eye and all the areas that I had applied my concealer on, and I'm going to be using banana powder for this. I'm also going to be using the banana powder as well to bake. So I like to get rid of the excess in the first, in the first process of doing the setting. So I'm just going through those creases under my eyes and making sure that like every area that I had applied my concealer is set. Now I'm going to be baking, and this is like the second coat, if you would, of the banana powder. So I'm just doing that, and you'll see that like it brings out such a bright and warm, vibrant color to the face. So that's why I like to bake. I'm just going to leave the banana powder on for a few minutes and move on to the other steps of this makeup look for today. Now I'm going to be focusing on the eyes, and I'm going to be using the medium tone color for the eyeshadow. So I'm just going to be using the same blush that I was using for my nose contour, and I'm going to be fluffing it all over my eyelid, and that's going to be the color for this makeup look for today. Then to add a little bit more depth, I'm going to take the dark brown color, and I'm just going to focus on the crease area and on the outskirts and the crease area. So I'm just going to be fluffing it out as well, because we don't want it to look divided. We want everything to always have a smooth transition when it comes to the eyes, as well as anything generally on the face. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm not taking it in all the way through the eyelid. I'm just focusing on the outskirts of the eyelid. And I actually got this eyeshadow palette from a Chinese store. So to reiterate my point again, like, it's not necessary for you to go all out. Now I'm just applying my eyeliner. Now I'm going to fluff off that extra or the excess banana powder from when I was baking. So I'm just literally dusting it off. Then I'm going to be doing my mascara, and this mascara is from Avon, but you can use Essence, you can use Maybelline. Those are the more reasonably priced mascaras that I've seen at the drugstores. Then I'm just gonna wipe, any excess foundation or any excess products that are on my lips, just to prepare for when I'm, doing my lips. And then I also just like to wipe off any excess product on my mole, because I do like it to show. For my lips, I'm using that same brow liner that I was using at the beginning of the makeup tutorial. So this is super beginner friendly. Like, I'm showing you how to use things for a dual purpose. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm just going to be outlining my lips, and that's it. For some odd reason, I decided to just stop doing my lips and focus on my blush. So for this palette, I'm going to be using the peach blush, and I'm also going to be using the darker pink blush. So this palette, I got it from Mr. Price. This is the Scarlet Hill palette, and it's so cool because it's got bronzer, it's got the blush, and it's also got some eyeshadows. So with my blush, I'm taking it from the apples of my cheeks, and I'm also taking it outwards as if I'm making it go towards my hairline. I like the warmth that blush adds to my face, so I like to run my brush also over my my forehead, and I also like to use some of the blush on my nose as well. Now for the lip combo, I'm just applying clear lip gloss. Got this at the Chinese store as well. Then I'm going to take some bronze eyeshadow, and I'm just going to focus on the bridge of my nose and also on the tip of my nose. You could also use highlighter for this step. Then I'm also going to be spreading that on the highest point of my eyebrow. Then I'm going to be taking some of this bright eyeshadow, this shimmery eyeshadow, and I'm just going to be placing it in the duct of my eyes. Then I'm taking some of this shimmery bronze colored eyeshadow, and I'm just going to be placing it right in the middle of my eyelid, just to add a bit of a glam or shimmer to the eyes. Then to set my face, I'm going to be using Essence Instant Matte Setting Spray. Thank you so much for watching today. I really do appreciate it. If you liked this video, please do give it a thumbs up. Leave any comments that you have in the comment section, and do subscribe. See you next time.